This is the story of how a substitute replaced a pro Rocket League player, earned Player of the Day, and mechanically led his team to the playoffs, all in his first ever RLCS matches. Let's rewind to 2020. It's the 9th season of the European RLCS, where we have the team Mouse Sports, consisting of Cookseer97 and Speed, who both played on Mouse in the previous season, with the addition of an RLCS world champion and runner-up, Scrubkilla. This roster had a 4-3 record in league play, until the falling out. Scrub left Mouse Sports dramatically, with claims that he signed the player contract under pressure with the mindset that this was his only option if he wanted a spot in RLCS this season. This led to internal issues with the team on top of Scrub disliking the contract terms. He said there were multiple unreasonable fines in the agreement and refused to use sponsored items on his stream, leading him to be fined or at least threatened to for breaking the contract. Overall, Scrub said that he felt like a slave to the organization, and ultimately, prior to the final week of Season 9, Mouse Sports granted his release. So the story isn't about Scrub, but instead, the unproven player in the substitute spot, with less than a week's notice before the next match and zero real RLCS experience. The main character of this story is Arju. Mouse Sports now found themselves in the final week of league play, with 2 games left to determine if they would qualify for playoffs. If they could win a single series, they were basically guaranteed a spot. If they could pull off a miracle run and win both though, they would be in a great position to get top 4, landing them an upper bracket playoff spot. And just like most substitutes, Arju had been waiting for his chance to shine in the big leagues, and now here he was, with his performance being the only thing in the way. If Arju costs these games and underperforms, he may never get another chance to play Pro Rocket League at this caliber again. This was it.
We'll see what Mouse Sports is able to accomplish with the new kid on the block. Very patient on his own half as he watches this flip reset come at him. Big miss, and Virtuoso trying to put the squeeze on him, see if he gets antsy. Some early tests here for Arju, running through the paces.
This is really going to be a lot of, weight on Speed and Cooks' shoulder as they get a couple opportunities here.
Have Arju be that solid follow-up with a beautiful clear from his own corner. About to hit a minute 30 remaining. And Relating Wave looking to draw first blood. Arju off his crossbar. Nachito to follow up. And he makes that save too. And Johnny Boy wasn't kidding. He's got the mechanics. With a few precious extra moments. Get out of an early jam and dish the ball off to Arju. Welcome to the RLCS.
And now we've got some confidence flowing through this man's veins.
Very comfortable lead here. As Arju real aggressive. Trying to just drop that straight down. But there's Speed for the follow-up. And game 2 truly out of reach. Mouse Sports commanding lead. And that is 2 good games here for Arju now. A 600-point game on the scoreboard for him with 1 goal and 3 assists. So he's definitely seems to be fitting in quite nicely. And Relating Wave playing close support for his teammate. Comes up with a dribble, blocks out Speed. Cooks here. He's going to need a pinch here, and we've seen this before.
Oh, no.
And he'll do it again!
No!
Cooks here could see it coming, and he pulls off the Cooks here pinch.
Lost the pitch. Just forcing the ball forward. All these clears are just booming to the corner. And you got to think, at what point is it going to break? And Arju, this is the sub-in who has now made the play. Clutch overtime shooting from him.
Game 4 was a tough back and forth game for Mouse Sports. As soon as they would score, Endpoint would retaliate. Cookseer would shoot a clean power shot, and Nachita would score an open net after Endpoint broke down the defense. While RG was doing a great job clutching up when it counted, the difference in Game 4 is that he was not able to, and Endpoint would force RG's first, Game 5. But would he be able to replicate the same clutch plays when it mattered most, with the tremendous amount of pressure with his first RLCS series on the line?
Mouse Sports trying to find a clear here with Endpoint pressing and 2 people caught in the same corner. Arju with the right idea, just air dribble it out of their own half. Gets a fake flip reset, puts Virtuoso in a tough spot, and did he bump him?
I think so, but look at this flip out from Arju. He didn't even touch it. The fake flip reset as Speed tries to hunt down Virtuoso. He got a little touch.
Possible off of their own sidewall. Cooks here, uncontested, double tap, and that's a miss off the crossbar. 2-goal lead with just under 2 minutes. Another 600-point game for him here.
Oh, Speed's
Cooks
there.
Here to Speed, top right-hand corner, and Mouse Sports are going to clutch it out in 5.
And with that, Arju won his first RLCS series in Game 5 and proved he was able to fit into the rotation for a top team. The only problem was, just fitting into the rotation was not enough to be a top 4 team.
Speed made life difficult for himself with the first touch, but he still kept the play alive. He really wanted to make something happen on 0 seconds there. Arju with the opportunity in overtime, he's dunked it! It's on the line, surely, it's in! Arju continuing a series, a season of substitutes. What a shot to win it all. Barca should be quite comfortable handling.
Breakaway opportunity, and it's stuffed by Flakes, which means Arju will punch it in, and Mouse take the lead in Game 3. Half will be another long clear for Arju. Cuts Off the back wall, the shot's good for
Oh!
Arju! The give and go, and Mouse Sports take the game!
A solid substitute on the roster because what can happen when you bring one in? There's Arju to speed. And Mouse open the scoring in game number 4.
Game 4, Arju and Mouse Sports were dealing with a sharpshooter in Ronicky. He was scoring everything and without hesitation. Up until Game 4, out of the 7 goals Barca had in total, Ronicky scored all of them. And that continued for the next 2, until Devo finally put one home, sending Arju to his second Game 5 in his second RLCS series. Sure, Arju was doing his part, he scored all the game winners for most of the series, but in order to compete with the unstoppable force Ronicky was playing at, he would need to become the star player and lead Mouse to victory. Half of Game 5 went by scoreless, until Arju took control of the ball 15 flakes. Devo was right there to follow, leaving Arju with this unfortunate mistouch to none other than Ronicky for his 10th goal of the series. But Arju retaliated with a clean pass middle right to speed in order to tie it up. Finally, with less than a minute on the clock, Arju found himself with control over the ball. He slightly air rolled and flipped upwards to perfectly pop the ball over Devo's head.
And he's got the goal! Arju! All the way himself! 2-1 Mouse.
This goal was enough to do it. Mouse clinched another Game 5 victory, giving Arju his second win in the RLCS. Not only that, but he also earned Player of the Day, which must have been quite the confidence booster going into the regional championships. Their first match was against Reciprocity, and Arju was not done yet. He was proving to everyone that he belonged here and deserved a spot in the RLCS. In the playoffs, he wasn't just fitting into the team, but instead leading them. Mouse managed to sweep Reciprocity, the same team that beat them in league play when they had scrub, with the series-winning goal once again scored by none other than Arju. In the semi-finals is where Mouse played Dignitas. This match turned out to be Super Sub Arju versus MVP Astral. It was a tough back and forth series going to Game 7, Arju's first ever in the RLCS. Right off the bat, Astral went for a clean air dribble, pitching it middle right to Violent Panda for an easy finish. It was scoreless for the next nearly 2 minutes, then Mouse struck, with Cookseer passing middle to speed, where he tapped the ball once, but instead of going for the shot, went straight for Astral, getting the bump, leaving the ball for Cookseer to have an easy finish. Mouse were back in this, but it wasn't long until Astral truly showed his MVP performance, playing patient, then going off of the ceiling with full control over the ball, once again taking it straight through the Mouse Sports defense, right to Violent Panda for the finish. While opportunities for the tie came and went, with Astral playing like this, Arju and Mouse unfortunately were not able to bring it back. They lost by 1 goal in the final game to a team that went on to beat Vitality in the grand finals, who actually put up less of a fight than Mouse did. Arju may not have won it all, but he truly proved the level that he was at as a player. He got his chance and went running with it. From an inexperienced player sitting on the Mouse Sports bench to having a starting spot in the RLCS right now under Misfits. But with the ability to step up when it matters most and hitting shots like he was in playoffs, it really isn't surprising. It all started against Endpoint, and if you want to see how their rookie brought them to win in his first ever RLCS regional, be sure to check out this video for another outstanding debut performance. Thank you for watching, be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.